Ever wonder where that elegant, timeless look in so many grand homes comes from? You know the one. Clean lines, stately columns, and a feeling of calm, classical order. Today, we're diving deep into the captivating story of Neoclassicism, a design movement that threw out the frills and brought back the glory of ancient Greece and Rome. Our story begins in the mid-18th century. Imagine Europe at that time. The dominant style was Rococo. Think over-the-top, flamboyant, and incredibly ornate. It was all about curves, gold, and lavish decoration. It was the style of the aristocracy, a reflection of their extravagant and often frivolous lifestyle. But as the century wore on, people started to get a little tired of it. It felt excessive, almost chaotic. A new intellectual movement was sweeping across Europe, the Enlightenment. People were rediscovering reason, logic, and order. They were looking for clarity and truth, not just in philosophy and science, but in art and design too. Then, something incredible happened. Archaeologists began excavating the long-lost Roman cities of Herculaneum and Pompeii. Buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, these cities were like time capsules. For the first time, Europeans could see firsthand how ancient Romans actually lived. They saw their homes, their furniture, their decorations, and what they saw was breathtaking. It wasn't the fussy chaos of Rococo. It was elegant, symmetrical, and beautifully proportioned. The discovery of these ancient sites was like pouring gasoline on a fire. It sparked a massive wave of excitement and fascination with the classical world, what we now call Neoclassicism, meaning new classicism. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of ancient Rome in their homes. The wild, asymmetrical curves of Rococo were out. In their place came straight lines, geometric shapes, and perfect symmetry. Think about the grandeur of the Pantheon in Rome. That's the feeling designers wanted to recreate indoors. The color palette changed dramatically too. Gone were the light pastels of Rococo. Neoclassical interiors embraced bolder, more sophisticated colors. Think deep reds inspired by Pompeian frescoes, rich greens, blues, and stark, clean whites and creams. Gold was still used, but more sparingly as an accent to highlight the beautiful forms, not to overwhelm them. Furniture underwent a total transformation. Cabinet makers like Georges Jacob in France and Robert Adam in Scotland became superstars of the new style. They ditched the curvy cabriolet legs of Rococo chairs and brought back straight, tapered, and often fluted legs, just like the columns of a Greek temple. The backs of chairs became rectangular or oval, often featuring classical motifs. The overall look was lighter, more rectilinear, and far more elegant than what came before. It was furniture that looked intellectual, refined, and dignified. And the decorative details? They were all borrowed from antiquity. You'd see motifs like laurel wreaths, urns, swags, and garlands of drapery, and mythical creatures like griffins and sphinxes. Walls were often divided into panels using delicate plaster moldings, creating a sense of order and structure. Sometimes these panels would feature painted scenes from classical mythology or inset medallions with classical figures. Ceilings were no longer just flat white surfaces. They became canvases for intricate plasterwork, often with a large central rosette from which a chandelier would hang. A key figure in all of this was the Scottish architect and designer, Robert Adam. After a trip to Italy where he meticulously studied ancient Roman ruins, he developed his own unique version of the neoclassical style. The Adam style was known for being lighter and more graceful. He didn't just design buildings, he designed everything inside them, from the ceilings and fireplaces down to the doorknobs and furniture. He believed in creating a total, unified work of art. His interiors, like those at Sion House in London, are masterpieces of harmony and elegance, where every single element works together perfectly. Across the Channel in France, the style took on a slightly different flavor. French neoclassicism, particularly under Louis XVI, was a bit more formal and rich. It retained a touch of Rococo's grace, but applied it to the new classical forms. Think of the Palace of Versailles' Petit Trianon, a small chateau given to Marie Antoinette. It's a perfect example of this refined, elegant French neoclassical style. The influence of neoclassicism didn't stop in Europe. It crossed the Atlantic and became hugely popular in the newly formed United States. For the young republic, the classical world of Greece and Rome represented ideals of democracy, virtue, and civic duty. So, adopting a classical style for their government buildings and homes was a powerful statement. Think of the White House or Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello. They are quintessential examples of American neoclassicism, symbolizing the nation's aspirations. But like all styles, neoclassicism eventually evolved. By the early 19th century, more opulent and eclectic styles began to take over. But the principles of neoclassicism, its emphasis on order, symmetry, and timeless elegance, never truly disappeared. Its DNA can be seen in so many later design movements, from Art Deco to modern minimalism. Today, neoclassicism is still very much alive. We see it in modern classic or transitional interiors that blend classical elements with contemporary design. A modern sofa might be paired with a chair that has tapered legs. A clean minimalist room might feature a dramatic, classically inspired plaster ceiling medallion. Why has it endured for over 250 years? Because it speaks to a fundamental human desire for order, harmony, and beauty. It connects us to a long history of design, reminding us that good design is truly timeless. It's a style that feels both grand and serene, sophisticated, yet comfortable. It proves that you don't need excessive ornamentation to create a powerful and beautiful space. Sometimes, the most elegant statement is the simplest one, so the next time you see a fluted column, a laurel wreath motif, or a perfectly symmetrical room, you'll know its story. It's not just decoration, it's a legacy of the Enlightenment, a souvenir from the ruins of Pompeii, and a testament to a timeless quest for order and beauty. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the world of design. See you next time.